Hello everyone, it's Agon here from PS Unblind Gaming, and I'm going to be talking about some accessibility features in Ghost of Tsushima that I use basically to play the game. Um, First of all, I'm going to start by saying if you are completely blind or very low vision, I don't think there's any way you'll be able to play this game. The navigation relies heavily on something called the winds. So if you flick up on the D-pad, it summons these guiding winds basically, and they point the gust of wind goes in a certain direction, and you follow it to your next mission or whatever that is. That part of the game is not really accessible at all if you're of very low vision or blind, just because, I mean, the winds are easy to see sometimes, I guess, but even for me they're really hard to see, and I've got some vision. I have to squint almost sometimes to use them. A great addition would be, for example, if they patched it so that when you press the guiding winds button, the camera would reorientate towards where the wind's pointing. That would make it really, really playable for VI people and even blind people, because as you're going to see later on, when we get into the combat is actually quite accessible. There's so many different audio cues and sounds you can listen out for. You can use to block, dodge, attack, dodge arrows, hear what type of weapon someone's got depending on the noise it makes the audio cue, to dodge a spear or to dodge like a heavy attack. But yeah, we'll get into that. And I also want to talk about a nifty little feature I found that made a part of the game completely accessible for me, whereas beforehand it wouldn't have been accessible at all. So let's get right into it. First of all, I'll show you the 3D audio in the fox den. Now here we are at one of the fox dens, where basically you go to a place, you find a fox, and you follow it towards what's called an Inari shrine, which helps you get upgrades. Now I had a lot of trouble with this because I couldn't see the fox at all when it started darting away. But there's a little setting if you go into options, and if you go into audio, not even accessibility, it's in audio. Make sure you set the audio output to headphones bracket 3D audio, because it works best like that. You have to have headphones in. The better the headphones, the easier it's going to be to do this. Now, what I do with the Inari Shrines is I listen out for... So if you can hear that, it's the fox making a noise basically, and it will make the noise and you'll be able to hear it from where it is. So let's try and follow the fox to the shrine just by using the noise on the 3D earphones. Here we go. It's going to make a noise. There we go. It can be quite quiet sometimes, so I can hear it's turned to the left. Following it all the way. Just relying on the 3D audio, to be honest, and it works every time. Because usually the fox may have darted out of sight. Like, see that time when it darted out of sight and I had to see it again. I had to basically find it again because it went around a corner. I used 3D audio basically to hear, okay, I've heard it's gone to the right somewhere, and then I followed it round to the right, and it works really well, to be honest. I'm quite impressed with that. It works the same with birds. Like, there's golden birds around that you can follow to get collectibles. It works better with foxes, and now it's led us to this Inari shrine where he prays in front of it and gets an upgrade. So see how I did that just by sound? I was barely even looking at the screen, to be honest. I was just listening out for the foxes. There are certain points where it will take you to like a ledge and you have to jump over. Unfortunately there's no audio cues for that, but if you do have some vision and are able to play this game and only have problems with the navigation, the 3D audio is very helpful. With the wind, it doesn't really work with the wind, the 3D audio, I don't think. Hang on. It should do though. Maybe they can patch that in, whereby the 3D audio, the wind will blow in the direction, the audio will blow in the direction of the wind's blowing. That would be really, really helpful. But that's the first accessibility demo. Let's move on to combat. Now with combat, I always initiate it off with a standoff, and that basically means he calls out one of the Mongols.
Stand and fight!
And you have to listen out for when he's about to attack, and you let go. You hold triangle, and just before he attacks... Oh, let's hopefully I can do this. Yeah, so just before he attacks, you let go of triangle, and he slashes it, and now someone else is coming. And I press square to slash him again because I upgraded. Now with combat, you can hear... Oh, there's no more people. Okay. Well, that was the standoff demonstration of the standoff. Hopefully we can find some more Mongols in a second to kill them. But as you saw, they make like a noise. They either shout or they say something before they attack, and that's when you let go of the triangle button. And then the next one you can press square, obviously, before he attacks. Let's go and see if there are any more Mongols. If not, I might have to fast travel to another place where there are people I can kill. Oh, yeah, there's people. Okay. Let's just jump in, because there's going to be archers, and I want to show archers, so... Right, so I'm going to go to... Right, so you see how they're swinging at you? You can hear their swings. And I just killed them. Right, so there's a guy with a spear there as well, and I don't know if there's all different audio cues. You hear that, and when you hear that, you basically dodge on getting killed. Waiting for it to hit me. I may have bitten off more than I can chew here. Let's get into a more open area. Okay, there's archers here. Now the archers will always shout something before they attack, and that's to warn their other Mongol allies they're shooting. So if you can hear... Oh, he didn't that time. But you can hear the arrow being fired. Now let's hang on. Just cut someone in half with this move. So you see there, you can hear them like shouting, you can hear the spears swinging. If you time it right, you can do a perfect parry and kill them instantly. But the tip of the spear also shines, like glows, before they're about to hit you, which is also really cool. So did you hear that archer just shout right there before he attacked me? So he shouted before the guy got down to sort of get the arrow. But lucky for us, when he shouts, we also know there's an arrow coming and we get to dodge or deflect. I just dodged that guy with a spear there. Heavily strike. That was a perfect parry. So you see how the spear shone like glowed, and I managed to take him out. They're shooting at me. I think they're up there, so how am I supposed to get them? Okay. So, the archery, the arrows work quite well. It's auto-aim. So you just hold L2 and it locks onto the nearest target, and you aim yourself. Now I'm going to go up this ladder and deal with this guy. So he's standing right in front of me. If you hold L1 while people are shooting arrows, you can literally deflect them. And stab him through the heart, basically. And he's dead. Right, so that was a quick demo of the combat. So you see there's loads of audio cues. Let's go over them quickly. You hear a different noise. As you play the game, you'll pick it up, basically, because you'll start by fighting them one by one. The normal swordsman, there's not really much of an indicator for visually impaired people. I think there's like a flash of red, but I don't rely on that. You just need to really look out for when they swing their sword. Or you kind of hear them, so you'll hear them go like, ah, or like, you know, go to hit you. And that's when you'll dodge or you'll parry it. With the spears, the tip of the spear like flashes a certain, like, it just flashes basically before they're about to thrust at you. And that's when you know that you should like press R1 to parry or circle to dodge out of the way. With the arrows, you can turn it on in the accessibility features to have visual indicators as well. I think that's for hard of hearing people as well as visually impaired people, but it helps me a lot to see which direction the arrows are coming from. But also, before they fire their arrow, they'll shout something. They'll say either get down or something like that, and that's when you know, oh crap, there's an arrow coming, I better press L1 to parry it, or circle and dodge to dodge out of the way. So yeah, that was the combat, guys. So here we are at the accessibility menu, guys. Just going to go through all of the options available and just give an explanation of what they do, really. Some of them won't really need that much explanation. The first one is subtitle backdrop, where you can basically turn it on or off, and that will put a little background around the subtitles, just upping the contrast, basically making it easier to see. The next one down is simplified controls. Now this is really awesome, and I'm going to see if I can find a QuickTime event on the map basically to show you how it works, but it works like this. Sometimes you'll have button prompts on the screen that you have to press for certain activities like cutting bamboo or something, and with this one it removes the time limit for them, so you don't have to be like, oh quick, what do I press? You basically can press it in your own time. There's no restrictions, and it just makes the game a hell of a lot easier for people with visual impairments, so I'm really grateful for that. The next one is obviously toggle button holds, so places where you'll have to either like hold a button, it will change it to like tap for people with motor disabilities that can't hold buttons or can't rapidly tap fast or things like that. Aim assist, this one's really good. Obviously I've demonstrated it with the bow and arrow. You literally just press L2 and it locks onto the nearest thing. A really good thing about this, actually, that some other games don't do, is not only will you be able to lock onto people, but you can lock onto other things that you can blow up as well, like exploding barrels, hornets' nests, where you can shoot an arrow into them and make the hornets go crazy and attack people. But yeah, it locks onto any item of interest, basically, so you don't have to be like, oh, let me hurry up and aim. You can just instantly aim and do your thing and be badass. Projectile indicator, this was what I was talking about earlier. You can turn this off and on, and it will put a marker above the head of an archer and be like, this guy's firing now, and you'll be able to see where the arrow is coming from. Controller vibration. Enable controller vibration during specific gameplay events. Okay. I'm guessing you can just turn on and off the vibration from that. I haven't really messed around with that. And then there's reset. So the accessibility menus, I mean, compared to The Last of Us 2, is pretty sparse, but compared to a lot of other games, it's actually quite good. There's a lot of handy features in it. The main problem I have with this game, and I'll show you guys, is what I spoke about before with the guiding winds. So I don't think I have a marker. Let's place a marker on the map right now, and I'll show you. Let's just put it anywhere. The map as well is annoying because you see the marker here. It's like 4 arrows pointing into each other, up, down, left, right, and in the middle of those arrows is where you want to put something to mark it on the map, basically. But if I go into undiscovered locations, for me, that just disappears, so I can't see the marker anymore. I wish there was a way, and I might have a look and see if there is a way to change the colour of the marker, make it darker or make it a different colour so it pops out, because I can see it here when the map has been discovered, but if I go into the lighter area, see that just disappears for me now. I literally can't see that, and it's really annoying trying to get to places, for example, like down here, where I can see that, oh, and that's marked it, so it kind of locks on when you get near enough to it, which is handy, but sometimes it's just a bit trying to get round and see, I literally, yeah, it's annoying. But yeah, for now, let's just put the marker somewhere here, and let's look at the guiding winds. So now it's night, and this place is quite dark, actually, so if I use the winds, I'll be able to hopefully see where I'm going. But you see, even now, I can't see the winds now. So it's, for me, it's a simple case of, I don't know, reorient yourself, jump down here, try the winds again. And it kind of takes me a long time to get from A to B, but you see, especially now where the sun's out here and it's shining really brightly. Oh, there's more people, but hang on, we'll deal with that in a bit. Right, you see, now I can see the wind a little bit. I can see it's pointing me that direction. Okay, I've been spotted. Anyway, let's just kill these guys quickly. Some more combat gameplay, why not? See, the arrows firing. You see they go Dasha or something like that. Oh, there's a bear there. Oh god, I just got knocked back. Oh my god. This guy is something special. Okay. I need to get out of here. Let's get up here. Come on, come follow me up here. Come on, fatty. Just killed this dog. I just killed 2 dogs. Right. Oh, they're throwing stuff at me. Okay. There we go. He's dealt with. There's still a dog there. And there's arrows firing at me. Right, I'm just going to clear this place. Oh, God. Die, you stupid dogs. Okay, where is that archer? Come here. I want to stab you through the heart. Oh, there's a guy here, okay. I think this guy. So you see how you just have to press L1 to parry at the right time. Okay, this guy's got a spear, so you see how it kind of slows before he hits me. Let's watch again. So I caught him then, and I was able to dodge it in time. So that time I did a perfect parry, and I was able to counter attack and end his soul. Right. God, I've gone into like a really big camp. Okay, now that arrow guy is still shooting at me. Oh my god. There we go. Okay, I need to switch stances for this guy. There we go. Dispatch. Can I just please kill him? There we go. I'm trying to do an accessibility demo here. Anyway, we've just killed the captain, so that's fine. That's given us an extra skill point. But yeah, the combat is really, really fun once you get into it. You get upgrades that make you feel really powerful. There's still people trying to kill me. Oh my god. Right, he's dead. Anyone else? Shit, he's got me. So yeah, they shout just before they fire the arrows. Come on, shout. No, you didn't shout that time. Kill him. Now I need to look basically and find out where the arrow is firing from. So you can use 3D audio as well actually. So when you hear him draw the arrow, you can hear the direction where it's being drawn from. See, the left. So I turn left and I come over here. You can hear him again. Where's he gone? He's right in front of me and he keeps backing off. There we go. Okay, now he's dead. Right. So now we've had that really good look at combat. I've cleared out a whole fort. I think you're probably supposed to sneak through it, but I just think the combat is so fun in this game. I don't like sneaking. I just want to jump in and just... Anyway. So yeah, going back to the navigation. So now, let's have a look and see if I can see the winds. Yeah, but they're just really hard to know where you're going sometimes, especially because the screen can be quite busy. So that's probably one of the main things I'd change, or main pieces of advice I'd give the developers if they're looking to make their game more accessible, is have a method whereby visually impaired people can instantly point their camera to where they're supposed to go. Even if it is like, I don't know, swipe up and the wind's just the camera turns in the direction of where the wind's blowing, and then you can go there. Or if it's just a direct marker on screen. I get why this game did the winds, because they want it to be a sort of seamless experience, and they want to have as less markers on screen as possible, so they can put you in the game basically and make it as immersive as possible. So I get why they did that, but it just ends up being a little bit tricky at times. Especially when, for example, there's a fire there. I can see the wind there now. Look, it's blowing towards that way, and I'll be able to go on my way. But yeah, there you have it. There is the main accessibility features of this game. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, and if you want me to demo other accessibility features or other games, please let me know in the comments below, or you can tweet me at PSIMBLIND. PS I'm blind, which is PSIMBLIND. You can comment on the video, or you can send me an email, which is psimblind@gmail.com. And yeah, just let me know if there's any questions you have about games, anything you want me to demo, anything about my videos you want me to change. Feedback is always good. So thank you guys, and catch you on the next video. Bye. I'm going to play the flute for you guys as well, just before. There's another little feature before I go. I'm going to leave you with this. You can, if you swipe left on the touchpad, he'll play the flute. Or no, he won't, because I'm still in the combat area apparently. So let's go out of the combat area, and I'll leave you with a little song. Apparently not, hang on. Let's go even further. There we go. See you next time, guys.